In the next section, you'll learn how to use system parameters, the values such as the current date or the locale settings of the user's mobile device that correspond to the current form fill session. How to use some advanced query statements. How to use hidden labels as helper variables in a form. You now have a form that asks the drivers about whether various car parts are in order or not, and every detail is data-bound to a reference table. It's a nice touch to call the user of your form by name when you're sending a form to him or her, and it's very easy to do. The user system parameter that you can access in data binding queries @user will return the user ID of the mobile user who is currently logged in. Put a new label control into your form. That uses the @user parameter in its reference attribute. So the user who opens the form will see his or her own mail address in the header. The form that you are working towards also lets the driver select the particular truck that he or she will be inspecting. Create the vehicle's reference table for the data of the trucks. The vehicles.refm file will contain everything you ever needed to know about the trucks. Publish the file. Download the input data spreadsheet for the reference table. It has a vehicles worksheet that the MEBT will accept as the input data for the vehicles table. Even if the driver has only one truck assigned to him or her in the database, all the columns will never fit across the screen of a mobile device. You will therefore only display the most important data of the truck in the selection table, and for ease of use, you'll put the other details inside a pop-up panel. Remove the license plate text box and add the new table Vehicle Selection to your form. In the Dynamic List Controls child elements, you will use 13 fields from the reference table, and specify the data type for each of them. You don't want to let the driver select a truck that is not assigned to him or her in the database, so you'll want to filter the reference data by the current user of the form. There will be a checkbox to select a truck. The most important data will be the license plate and the last service date. Note that the column numbers in the refarg attributes refer to the columns that the query statement in the vehicle selection table returns. Columns have a zero-based index. Put all the other, less important details of the truck into a pop-up panel. The reference equals ref query is a special mobile form query operator. It returns a single argument only, and it maintains the data type of the returned argument. Save and publish the form with the extended reftab.xlsx and check your work. Open the form on your mobile device, pick a truck, and see its details on the pop-up screen. You'll need to make the form check that the user has indeed selected a truck before you let him or her submit the form. You also don't want to allow the driver to select more than one truck, so you'll have to find a way to make the form count the number of selected elements. To be able to add up the number of trucks that the user selected, add a hidden label below the table. It will not appear in the form because of its visible equals false attribute, but you can use it to keep track of the number of selected checkboxes. Think of it as a helper variable. The reference equals count is another special query operator. It takes a list of Boolean values and returns the number of true values in the list. This is the operator you need because you're referencing a list of checkboxes and checkboxes return either true or false. To get around the fact that you can't hardcode in the relative path the number of generated elements in a control that you want to reference, put .* after the name of the control in the relative path. What this means is any and all elements inside this control. Add a validator control to your form. Name it Only One Checkbox. Define a number validator. Using the number validator element, you can make sure that the number of selected checkboxes is 1 and 1 only. Its whole number attribute specifies whether the referenced control's, this hidden selection count, value needs to be an integer or float, and the min and max attributes determine the lowest and highest values that you accept in this control. If you put 1 into both the max and the min attributes, the validator will not accept anything but 1. Save the file and publish the solution. See what happens when you try submitting it with 0 or more than one truck selected. Gotcha!